I was spending 6 hours per day on average, 4 hours on a good day, 10 on a bad day, mostly on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Hulu. By the way, 6 hours per day, that's 42 hours in a week or 91 full days in a year. That's nuts. And I beat that addiction in just 30 days. My 6 hours a day average is down to just 2 hours per day. And those 2 hours are mostly spent on texting, phone calls, video calls, and genuine learning rather than social media and mindless scrolling. Now, I'll explain in a second why I call it an addiction, but I should also mention that when I say I beat it in 30 days, what I'm really saying is I threw away all the bad phone use habits and replaced them with really good phone use habits. And like any addiction, I'm being very careful in the weeks and months following to make sure I don't fall back into old habits, which are very easy to fall back into if I'm not careful. Let me also say that screen time is not inherently a bad thing, but for me it was, because I have like a million different hobbies, so many things I could be using my time for, and instead I would use my phone as an escape. Every time I had to do something mildly challenging, or every time I felt bored, or every time I got even just a little bit uncomfortable, I would go to my phone, often right over there in the next room, laying in my bed, and I would mindlessly scroll for hours and hours on end. I would cancel plans on friends just because I was scrolling. I would eat really unhealthy because I would be scrolling when it was during the time that I would be typically using to make dinner or make lunch or whatever. And I would get to a point where I was either so hungry that I had to eat and needed to eat something like right away, so I would go get fast food, or I would get myself stuck in a pinch where I'm like, shoot, I only have 10 minutes before my next virtual meeting. Let me go grab fast food. It's my only option. For months, maybe even years on end, I felt anxious, unmotivated, unfocused. My memory was cloudy, and a lot of the time I just felt hopeless. And I didn't share that with anybody. I just hid it. Even people I was living with or dating at the time, I don't think knew that I had that problem. I hid it really, really well. My phone use was in so many ways just mentally and physically unhealthy. It was crazy too, because as I would lie there in my bed scrolling on my phone for hours on end, my mind would be like, Imran, it's time to get up. It's time to go do things. Time to stop scrolling. The other half of my mind would be like, no, keep scrolling on TikTok. Let's get some more dopamine. And my body would be like, yeah, let's do that. And I would just lay there. So half my brain is like, come on, let's get up. And the other half is saying, no, we're just going to lay here for a few more hours. That's what was happening every day. It was affecting my work, friendships, just general life. And that's why I call it an addiction. It's because that was a serious problem. So how did I break all of those really unhealthy phone habits? 2 words: this book. Now, this is not some kind of weird paid ad. This is just a genuine rave review of a book that literally just changed my life. This book helped me to regain 28 hours every single week from my life, and to use the other hours that are still used on my phone in healthier ways. Now, the beauty of this very small book, and I know this is a Kindle, the book is short, is that the first half describes in detail, in quick detail, some startling facts about phone use, how it's contributing to a rising mental health crisis, why tech executives don't let their kids use phones, why tech companies are misusing your data to sell it for marketing dollars, like so much. The book goes over all of that to wake you up. And the second half of the book is a 30-day plan. Day by day, here's how you slowly break your phone addiction and rebuild better habits without having to go cold turkey, because that doesn't work, by the way. I followed the 30-day plan, and I vlogged about it. I vlogged about it so that you could see my true, genuine experience as I was fighting this addiction. Days 0 through 7 were not a vlog. They're all combined because, believe it or not, as I was realizing my addiction, I wasn't like, I'm gonna vlog about this. That would be insane. So days 0 through 7 were combined, and then the rest until day 30 were individual vlogs talking about the uncomfortable things I felt each day, what was really challenging, what was going really well, how I, felt empowered by having this new practice that Catherine Price describes in her book. Some of the things that I found most challenging were setting no phone zones, so not being able to use my phone at all in the bedroom or at the dining table, for example. And I also found it challenging to just sit there with my thoughts, no phone. Like when I was using the bathroom, no phone. When I was sitting at a red light, no phone. And that was weird. It was really weird to just sit there and be like, yeah, you get the idea. I talk a lot more about those little uncomfortable feelings that would come up at random points during the day in the vlogs, but I would say that some of the most helpful things, and these happen at various points during the 30 days, were turning off all notifications except for like texts, calls, and other 100% essential things, deleting all the social media apps off my phone and getting over the FOMO. That was huge for breaking my addiction. And the biggest, I think most important thing that happened in those 30 days was me taking 36 hours away from my phone completely and away from any devices that had access to internet. Now in the book, it's supposed to be a 24-hour thing, and I said I'm gonna do 36 hours. And it was one of the best days of my entire life. No joke. So if your phone use might be problematic or you're resonating with some of the ways that I've been describing my phone use before I broke this addiction, here's the 3 things you can do literally right now to start your phone addiction breakup journey. The first thing is to get this book. And again, this is not a paid ad. Get the book, read it. It's so short. Wake up, and when you read the 30-day thing, don't just read it and think about it, do it. And when she says to journal, don't just be like, I'm just gonna think about the questions in my head. No, write it down. That's what's gonna make you successful. You can't just think about your addiction and it's gonna go away. Doesn't work like that. Wouldn't it be great if it did though? You gotta do the thing. Number 2, go watch some of these vlogs that I did. Now, not all of them are worth watching. I'll put up on the screen somewhere here the ones that are probably the best to watch, but if you're only gonna watch one, watch the one of day 24 when I did the 36 hours away from my phone and away from anything with internet. That video will almost guaranteed make you feel inspired to do something similar or to start your journey. Like seriously, it's a little bit of a long video, but it was, again, one of the best days of my life, and you can see it in the way that I talk and the things that I did in that 18-minute video in those 36 hours. And number 3, don't be ashamed to admit your problem and to talk about it openly. Just because everybody is facing the same problem of being like addicted to their phone or scrolling for hours and hours and hours on end just to feel maybe something, doesn't mean that it's not a problem. It's still a problem. And it doesn't make you better that you're fighting the problem that everybody has, but at the same time, more power to you for doing it. Now, I know this video is not the comprehensive guide you might have been looking for. It's more of like a starting guide of here are the 3 things you can do to start your phone addiction breakup journey. But if you do those 3 things, I promise you, you will start to feel more alive. Your memory is going to improve. You're going to have mental clarity. Your physical health might improve too, just like I experienced over the last month. Good luck fighting your addiction. And if you have any questions or concerns about what it's going to be like to break up with your phone, feel free to leave a comment. I usually respond in 48 hours, and I'm going to be fully transparent with whatever your question is about my journey and what it was like and what you might experience too. And I want to help you. If you're experiencing the problem that I was experiencing of spending 91 full days in a year on my phone, and you want to break that and reclaim 28 hours of your life every single day, I want to help you. So leave a comment if you have a question or concern, and after you've done it, if you do it, come back and let me know how it went. You got this.